still go, 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 go.
Knudsen,
What's going on, Sersky?
this is Two Guys Talking Golf.
That's right. Long distance relationship style.
International. I'm traveling the world right now. And not for golf. A little personal time.
Yeah, a little me time after a long season.
Well, really it's for a buddy's wedding. But, yeah, my vacation from traveling a lot is traveling, like, even more.
Why not? Why not?
I was a little nervous traveling abroad after the Scotland fiasco with the luggage and all that. So I tried to design the trip around not losing the bags. And the bags are safe in Greece right now. So we're happy.
Nice.
I haven't slept in a couple days, so my brain might be a little fried. But we have a lot of gear topics to get to. Like, usually this late in the season, not a lot of switching, testing, but we have stuff going on, like big names making switches.
Yeah.
All sorts of custom gear popping up, new releases. Me and you went out together and tested some new product. I don't know how much we're actually allowed to even talk about that.
I know. I don't know either.
I'm not sure what's in play and what isn't. Obviously, at this juncture, we know quite a bit about a new driver that might be floating around on tour. But I guess we'll try to keep talk to that to a minimum. But me and Knudsen were out together recently hitting some golf shots. It's rare for us. You know, we don't get to play a lot of golf. You play 9 holes a week. But
yeah, I
play very little.
You play very little, and we went out and we got to hit a few biscuits down the range. I think both of us almost put some tree trimmers in danger a couple times with a couple snap hooks, but it was a beautiful day and we had some fun, and it was new gear, so you can't complain that much.
Yeah, when you have to yell 4 when you're hitting on a driving range, not great shots.
And when you're yelling 4 at a guy with a chainsaw. Like, that's not great, because he's not hearing you. Like, there's no way.
So last week was a little bit hectic on the travel front for me. I do apologize to all the listeners. We weren't able to make a podcast happen last week. I had all sorts of delays going on, canceled flights, and then had to get out to the other coast. So I apologize, but we'll touch on a little bit of what went on last week in Memphis, and then this week at Wilmington Country Club in Delaware.
Yep.
Delaware doesn't get too many pro golf events these days, and I must say the energy was up for the fans. Everyone was really excited.
Nice.
Yeah. And I always like being back on the East Coast, so I was happy.
Yeah, like get a little taste of home when you're over there. I mean, it's not you're not from Delaware, but you get a little taste of home over there. I can see that.
But where the course was located is like really far north. So I actually stayed in Philly while I was there. Got myself a couple cheesesteaks.
Oh, nice.
I do think some of the, I won't name any spots because people might actually come from my head. But I think some of like the famous Philly cheesesteak places are super overrated.
Ooh.
Like really you want to just go to a local spot and just like pick up a cheesesteak type thing. And those are always the best, in my opinion.
Nice.
In my opinion.
I mean, I can see that. I've never been to Philadelphia. I know I got a buddy who goes there, lives right near there or whatever, and he always recommends different spots for cheesesteaks. I don't remember any of them, but you're probably right. You probably got to find that like local mom and pop kind of joint that's just hidden away that's got the best food. I get it.
Yeah, the problem is with Philly, if you ask like just someone that lives locally, or just someone around the area, like they all have a different spot and they're super passionate about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got to go here. You can't go there. And then you ask the other person, it's like, don't eat that trash. Like, I got a spot for you. It's like, all right.
Yep.
I get it, though. They're passionate about the cheesesteaks. I love it.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. It's like Boston and their bakery goods. There's like 3 different bakeries, and everybody's going to say their one is the best. And I mean, I get it.
All right, so food aside,
Right.
As much as I would like to do a whole podcast about food and taste testing, cheesesteaks. We'll get into some golf, but it'll be a slow transition into golf. We'll do a little tweener topic at first.
Okay.
NBA basketball players are hot in the golf gear streets right now. So last week ran into Anthony Penny Hardaway.
That's
One
right.
of my childhood, I would almost say idols. I mean, I had probably 3 different basketball jerseys of Penny Hardaway.
Wow.
Had the black pinstripe, the blue pinstripe, and then I actually had a reversible black and blue Penny Hardaway. Yeah.
Dude, you were
cool.
into it deep.
I was a Jersey kid growing up. I literally lived in Jersey, but I also wore a lot of basketball, football jerseys, just big sports fan. I've always been into the merchandise and stuff. And I guess I was kind of a bandwagon type fan. I was always more into the individual players than necessarily being a diehard team guy. I don't know what that says about me. Maybe I was ahead of the curve in fantasy, the way sports has kind of gone towards fantasy. Maybe I was a little ahead of the curve. Or I was just straight up bandwagon. But either way, it was a cool moment just even seeing Penny Hardaway. I'd never met him before. Super cool guy. And I looked down at his golf club. I almost had a heart attack looking at these things.
They're
Are you
wild.
kidding me? How cool they are? Oh, so he's got the custom Memphis. He went to Memphis. Is it University of Memphis or Memphis University?
I think it's University of Memphis. I think. But yeah, he
I'll
went
stick
there.
to Memphis for now. Yeah, he played there, and now he coaches there as well. So when he retired from playing, I think he retired back in 2007. He started coaching for the team. He's now the head coach. I think he's been the head coach for 3 years. So he was repping the Memphis Tigers super heavy with some custom laser engravings on the back. Sub 70.
Yeah.
Mostly sub 70 irons. I guess the guy who owns and started Sub 70, I think he's pretty good buddies with. So he has a little connection there, but definitely a big golfer. And it wasn't just the irons, it was also the wedges and the putter. Oh my God, that all white and blue putter. You've seen these photos, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was present, and I'll tell you what, Sub 70 makes some great stuff. If you don't know who Sub 70 is, they're a direct-to-consumer brand. So they basically go on sub70.com. They have all sorts of custom stuff or whatever, and they make some good stuff. I've hit a couple of their irons. They're high-quality stuff. But yeah, these are crazy. The Memphis logo with the tiger, but the tiger's actually, if you look really closely, has a golf bag. If you look real closely between the M.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry, that's a tail. Never mind. Looks like a golf bag. I was like, that looks like a golf bag. But anyway, I think the irons look sweet. The wedges look really cool.
I got to look at these photos now. Hold on.
No, it was me. I thought that it looked almost like there was a golf bag there, and it's actually the tail that comes around the M. But the logos look really cool. I do have to say I'm not on board as much as you with the putter. I think it's an awesome looking putter.
What?
It's just too busy. It's too busy with his 1 cent logo that he had when he had Nike shoes and all that.
Yeah, his personal logo.
Yeah, is out on when you're looking at the top of the putter, that's out near the toe, and then it says Memphis Tiger. It's a number 7 style putter. Memphis Tigers on each one of the little fangs, and then it has the Memphis M with the tiger right in the back flange. It's just a little too much for me. If you put all that stuff on the bottom, I'm all about it. Super sweet.
I guess if you're on the PGA Tour and you're grinding for paychecks and every putt really, really matters, maybe I would get annoyed about it being a little too busy. But dude, come on.
The rest of it's awesome.
One, I don't take putting that seriously. I don't take golf that seriously. Where it's if I get thrown off by something, I won't play it. If I had that putter in my possession, I'm never not playing with it. For the rest of my life, I'm playing with that.
If Anthony Hardaway gave you a replica of that putter, go straight in the bag?
Yeah. And I'm not even a mallet guy. I'm more of a blade type guy. But I don't know. Something about the way that putter looks. Maybe it's because it's also kind of Orlando Magic colors, from back in the day.
Yeah.
The white and the blue. So it's just super nostalgic, and it's Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
I'm biased. To be fair, I'm biased. So you probably are right in this case.
But I
I'll
mean,
give you that.
But like I said, I'll give him credit. Like the rest of the stuff is really cool. I mean, all the blue paint fill, it matches like you said. He's got a Memphis bag, so it matches that. I mean, everything is pretty much like. I mean, the ferrules are blue. I mean, everything is pretty cool.
The ferrules are sick.
Yeah. So
and he's got the Atlanta Olympics, 1996. He was part of that gold medal winning Olympic team. Just nice touches all the way around. It's got his autograph on the bag.
Yep.
I think Wedge. So his name on Instagram is @Wedge_FX. My understanding is that he did most of the custom work and does a lot of the custom work for Sub 70.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of deal they have worked out, but I saw he was like active in our Instagram posts, saying that basically he did the work and I did a little research, confirmed. So shout out to Wedge_FX. He should get a shout out because whoever did that custom work, I don't know his real name. I will try to find that out and give him a proper shout out next time. But it's really well done and it looks awesome.
Yeah. No, it is really nice. I mean, it's like, I mean, he shoves a lot of stuff into what is a small canvas, as a club head. So, but yeah, it looks really cool. Like I said, I mean, I'm a huge fan of all of it. Like I said, the putter to me is a little busy from address, but I mean, I totally respect it. I get it. And if that stuff was on the sole, I'm all about it.
And I do love that he has all these like intricate laser engravings, and then I think it's his 52 degree. He's got a Mizuno that just says Penny on the back, just like super regular letter stampings.
But it is the copper wedge, so the penny. It kind of goes with the motif. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just it doesn't even have paint fill. I don't think. Does it? Yeah, it's just stamped. It doesn't look like it even has paint fill in it.
I didn't make that copper penny connection. That's very smart.
Yeah.
Wow.
Your boy, he's not. I mean, I'm dense, but I'm not that dense.
Not just a hat rack, as Greg would say.
That's right.
If he listens to this, he's going to hate that I stole the line, but I did give you credit.
Hey.
Okay, so another NBA basketball player, I guess former NBA basketball player. He's actually a collegiate golfer now. NBA basketball player turned collegiate golfer. You don't often see that career path. But J.R. Smith.
Whoa.
I mean, where do you start on this one?
I mean,
this might be one of the coolest putters I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And typically, again, like a lot of that stuff that you're kind of like, oh, it's, stuff's too busy or wild or whatever. This one, I think, is like that perfect mix of like, it's totally insane, but it's totally playable. And I'm going to start. So J.R. Smith has got a Bettinardi. It's an Innovi 6.0.
That's got to be pronounced Innove.
I thought it was Innovi. It's one of the two. I mean, I thought they said Innovi one time when I was like on the phone with them, but it might be Innove. But
I've definitely been saying it wrong.
I might be too.
My whole life. Then
I say I pronounce Mitsubishi shafts wrong, so it's all good.
Yeah, you do.
But I mean, before you even get into the putter, which is absolutely filthy, the head cover is just as sweet. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's white leather, all white stitching, and it's just like a drone dropping buckets of what I'm assuming is drip all the way down. I don't even understand it, and it's so sweet.
So drippy. He is Team Swish.
Yeah. Yep. But then the putter, you get into it. I mean, the back of it's this anodized purple. On the bottom, it's got the Bettinardi Bs that are all like, on the bottom. It's got the Bettinardi, the T hexagon. And then the face is the center section is all stars. I mean, it's just.
I love that.
It's really fire. And then it's got like a matching kind of purplish shaft, purple grip. I mean, it's so sweet. It's so sweet.
It's so J.R. Smith. Like, he has really good taste, I think, in fashion and jewelry. Obviously, we'll probably get into the watch. I know you're going to want to talk about the watch a little bit.
Hey,
but it's very J.R. Smith. It's flashy, but it's it's like fashion forward. You know, the purple's really cool. I love the hosel on it, the stars on the face.
Yeah, the hosel.
But, like, I went over to him because he was playing in the Pro-Am. You know, that's why we are talking about J.R. Smith. He was playing in the BMW Championship Pro-Am alongside Tony Finau and Chris Solomon from No Laying Up. So they had a group out there.
That's some heavy hitters.
Definitely some fanfare. People coming up to all of them separately. You know, there would be like a No Laying Up fan, then a J.R. Smith fan, then a Finau fan. It was funny. They're all just kind of like famous in their own little pockets out there. But yeah, I went up to him. I noticed a lot of Titleist in his bag. I was under the impression that he was like a TaylorMade guy. I thought he had some sort of deal, but I guess he just like did a fitting there one time and he liked the equipment. But it was mostly Titleist when I went up there, and I wanted to do a what's in the bag. He was super cool with it. He's like one of the nicest guys ever. We're doing a lot of video content with the PGA Tour, and we wanted to do something with J.R. Smith. He was, you know, super down to do it all and actually quite helpful. But yeah, go over there. I do the driver, 3-wood, work down to the hybrid, and the order that I do it in usually is I'll do the putter after like whatever the like hybrid or 5-wood is, because it has the head cover on it. I'm just in head cover mode, taking photos of the head covers and then taking them off. So I see the all white head cover and I'm like, oh boy, what do we have under there? You know, because you can't really tell what it is. And I peel that thing off, and the first thing I see is like the little cork neck. Like, what do you call that thing? I didn't know exactly what to call the hosel.
Yeah, I don't know. It's basically it almost looks like a piece of like a huge screw because it's threaded, and then they heat it up and bend it into the shape of like the flow neck hosel. I've seen it done on like Instagram for some other like small manufacturers, and I'm assuming that's what Bettinardi does. They take some type of big like bolt or screw that has threads on it, they kind of flatten them out, and then they bend it, heat it up, bend it, and then they torch it to like this rainbowish purple color. But yeah, it looks like little like rings around the whole hosel, and it's kind of like a long flow neck. It's super sweet.
So yeah, I ripped the head cover off, and then I just start to see the purple glistening. And he's kind of standing right there, and I look over at him, and I'm just like, what is this? Like, what do you got here, man? And he just kind of smirks. He's like, yeah. And while I'm going through his what's in the bag, like, he's a gearhead. He was changing out driver shafts, like, by himself with the screw.
Just like he was changing it up.
And so it was like, are you changing shafts out right now? Like, aren't you about to go play in the Pro-Am? He's like, hey, man, if you're not tinkering, you're not a real golfer.
Me and J.R. Smith are boys. We just became best friends.
Get him a form handle on Golf WRX. For real.
I love it.
But yeah, the putter. I mean, I know it's a podcast, so people might not know what we're talking about. Definitely head over. I guess just go right to our Instagram page, because we did shoot a video with him strictly about the putter. Talked to him for a little bit. He went to the Hive. Like, he went in person, did the fitting, got the custom work done. He went with a buddy who also got the purple, and he was like, you know, it was either I was going to go with something different and try to one-up him, or I was going to go with the purple too, and we would just match. And it was just cool. He's all giddy talking about the putter. But yeah, head over to Golf WRX on Instagram. We have a video and just like in-hand photos like we normally do it. Definitely worth checking that thing out.
Yeah, and so it's funny. I got a J.R. Smith story. Like you said, like super nice guy. Back in like 07-ish, whatever, when I was doing Callaway Demo Day stuff, we're at a local Metro Detroit, very kind of exclusive club, and like Dan Gilbert, who owns the Cavaliers, was there or is a member there, and it's called Franklin Hills. And J.R. Smith, before he played for the Cavs, I guess they were trying to bring him on, so they had him out there to play some golf. And we're packing up. We did like a little demo thing in the morning, and we were kind of packing up. We were done for the day. It was pretty dead on the range. and all of a sudden, this like 6'6" guy comes walking down onto the range. Straight golfer. Other than the fact the guy's 6'6" and covered with tattoos,
big hands too,
huge,
big hands.
Walked right up to us and like, oh, what were you guys doing? We're like, yeah, we had a demo day thing right there. Shook everybody's hand. My hand was like a baby's hand in his, and sat there and hit balls with us for like 30, 45 minutes. They were calling his name on the PA that his group was like ready to tee off. And finally, like he's just hanging out. And finally somebody drove down and they're like, excuse me, Mr. Smith, like your group is on the tee. Like you need to go. And he was like, all right, man, like good meeting you fellas, whatever. Shook our hands again. He'd be like the nicest dude in the world. He was super cool. And you could tell like at that point, he was kind of, I think, just starting because he didn't hit the ball near as well. When he hit it an absolute mile, but it was kind of all over the place. But again, like you said, being a nice guy, dude, he was super cool, super nice. And yeah, like just a massive dude. But yeah, they came down, picked him up, like drove him up to the first tee. Is like, yeah, we got to get you out there. And he's like, all right. But like you said, super nice dude.
That story doesn't surprise me at all, and it doesn't surprise me that he went back and played college golf. Like he strikes me as a guy who just wants to be one of the guys and go play golf, and he truly just loves golf. Like he obviously loves tinkering, he loves the gear aspect of it, but he also likes working to improve, and you can tell how much work he's put in, definitely since the story that you told, because he kind of stripes it.
Nice.
We were following him for a couple holes, and there's this one par 4 that goes up the hill. I think it might be 6 or 7. I don't know the course very well at all, and none of these guys do either. But we kind of drove up to the green because we were waiting to shoot some footage of his putter like in action while he was putting, and he was probably 105 out. And I'm looking back, I'm like, okay, JR is sitting right now. I see the ball come up, and he nearly jars this thing.
Wow.
Like he almost lands it in the hole, takes 2 hops past the flagstick, rips it back like 5 feet. It's like J.R. Smith's a ball striker. Yeah, he's no joke about golf. Like, there's no sort of marketing ploy or anything there. He's like a true gamer, just one of the guys you see at the country club who wants to hang around the range, play, hang around the range again, test clubs, go back out and play. You know, just getting after it all day.
I love it, man. That's a guy I want to hang out with, man. I want to sit on the range with JR and just swap shafts and do whatever. Just that'd be sweet.
And he had some diamonds dancing on the wrist. Knudsen, I know you want to talk about this Rolex.
Oh.
Once I saw it, I was like, Knudsen's he's gonna faint. He's gonna absolutely love this watch. But yeah, tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so you all of a sudden I get this email from Tursky, which I never get emails from Tursky at like 8:30 in the morning. It just doesn't happen, at least Eastern time. And all of a sudden I get this email, and it was like, and it just says, I think, like, you're welcome. So I open it up, and
I think I said, this is a gift for you.
Yeah, something like that. I was like, so I opened it up, and yeah, J.R. Smith has got some heat on his wrist. So he's got a Rolex, which, I mean, everybody knows the name Rolex. It is what a lot of people nickname the President, but it's actually called the Day-Date 40. So it's got the date at 3 o'clock, like the number, you know, the 18th, 19th, whatever. But then at the very top at like 12 o'clock, it reads the full name of the week. So it'll say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The one really cool thing about it, when it changes over at midnight, it is instant. You do not see it move. It just like clicks and it's changed. Like it's that fast.
It changes?
Yeah, so like when it goes from Wednesday to Thursday, the switchover is instant. It's so fast. Like the dial, it moves so fast you don't even see it. Like it just instantaneously turns to Thursday. It's kind of a Rolex thing.
But it's not like digital. It's an actual like plate that's in there?
Yeah, it's a whole ring that runs around the inside of the watch. And it's all mechanical, so it's a self-winding automatic, so there's no battery, nothing. But anyway, that one is it's very popular. It's called the rose, or it's called the olive, because the dial is olive green. Mm-hmm. And it's made from rose gold, which Rolex is so nuts. They have their own foundry where they make their own gold. And it's called Ever Rose Gold, so it doesn't tarnish, it doesn't like change color, it doesn't even get in salt water, nothing happens to it. They make their own rose gold in their own factory for the watch.
Wow.
Rolex. Yeah, I mean they're insane. So the olive version, like he's wearing, is extremely popular, super hard to get. And then he's got a step up from that, which has the diamond bezel on it. And the diamond bezel is not done by a jeweler or whatever. It is done by Rolex. And Rolex lines every diamond's flawless, like it's flawless, perfect color. Like they are insane about the quality. And every diamond, they line up the facets so they all match around the whole bezel. So all like 50 of them, I think it's like 48 to 50, all of them line up so they are perfectly the same around the bezel. So yeah, that bad boy runs. It's one of those, like if you walk into a dealer, it doesn't exist. Like you can't go buy it unless you have like a really good relationship with that dealer. You bought a bunch of watches. It's like $55,450 at the store if you can get one. If you don't have that relationship, you can't get one. Out on the secondary market, you're looking between $75,000 and $80,000 to snag that bad boy to put on your wrist. But it is a super, super special piece. Like it's not easy to get. Like you don't just roll in there with a handful of cash and ask for it. Like it's kind of offered to you as a kind of a, oh, you're a great customer. Would you like to buy this? But
so it's not the first Rolex he's ever got his hands on, is what you're trying to say?
No.
He's been in a Rolex store before.
Yeah, he definitely. That's not his first one. That won't be his last. He has purchased a few pieces in his day. So, yeah, if you want the reference number is 228345, and I think it has RBR for the diamonds.
You got the reference number and everything. Oh man.
Yep. So
I'm not a huge watch guy,
yeah.
And obviously that's a lot of money. But it seems like the type of watch that's kind of worth it. Like from across the fairway, you could see these diamonds dancing in the sun. It looks great. It's kind of got like, I know you say it's olive. It feels a little Augusta-ish. You know, like it's got kind of a Masters theme going on. It's kind of that colorway. And the fact that the days of the week change, I didn't know that. I thought they just made like different versions with different days. I didn't really get what was going on. Like I said, not a watch guy. Don't torch me. I'm sorry.
So
what I'm saying is that the watch looks really cool.
Oh, it's sweet. And you got some great photos of it. So if you want to see more pictures of it, go to WOTW_GolfWRX. So what's on the wrist? So WOTW_GolfWRX. And yeah, I've got a bunch of photos of it there and a bunch of information on it. But yeah, how about this? The really cool thing is if you go to other countries, they make them in other languages. So you can get a Spanish version, an Arabic version, whatever. And those in the U.S. are super collectible as well. So you can get them with different. I can't remember how many languages, but they make them in Chinese, Japanese, all that too. It's pretty cool.
Please don't turn me into watch guy. I got enough spending habits as it is.
Oof.
Don't do it. But that is one of those watches where it's like, ooh, like
fire,
kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move off of basketball players playing golf. Let's get into. Well, let's talk about Chris Solomon real quick. He is the co-founder and co-host. I guess would he be the official host? Like he's the face of No Laying Up, right?
Yeah, to be 100% honest, I don't really follow them. I know they're very popular. A lot of people speak very highly of their podcast and their content. I have nothing against them. I just, we consume so much golf content throughout the day that when my day's over, I don't go and I just don't follow them. So it is nothing against them. Like I said, I've heard nothing but great things. I just don't follow them. So I don't know. I know it's him. There's a guy named Randy or Big Randy or something.
Tron.
Yeah, Tron. So I know there's some guys there, but I do not know like their kind of like roles or rankings, unfortunately.
DJ Piehowski. It's like I know them. I've seen them around at different media events. They'll be out on tour occasionally. I believe they're all sponsored by Callaway. Like they do some advertising with Callaway, so obviously he had all Callaway clubs in the bag. I feel like you do about No Laying Up. Like it's hard when you're in the golf media space. Like, I don't have time to consume all this content. We're trying to produce the content.
Yep.
And it's not even that I see them as, like, competitors or anything. I respect what they do. I think they are kind of part of that movement that's helping grow the game and push golf into a new, younger audience. So I've always just loved what they've done. I actually went and covered an AJGA junior golf event one time a couple years back. and they all had no laying up towels wrapped around their bag. So that's what I kind of had my mind open. Like, I know they're popular on Twitter. They got funny tweets. They say funny stuff. But that's when it kind of hit, where it's like, oh, they're killing it with the younger audience. I get it now,
Yeah.
So I saw Chris Solly out there. He was playing with J.R. Smith, Tony Finau. Definitely a popular group out there in Delaware.
No kid.
But the first club I saw him hitting, he was hitting a putt, and I looked down at the head. This thing's chopped up.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Chris. I see what's going on here. Like, I love old used equipment. I don't prescribe to the ideal that it's like you have to always upgrade. Everything has to be fresh and clean. But even I looked at the putter and I was like, we might want to throw another coat of paint on that shaft down there.
It is bad.
But he's got some pretty good game too. Pretty good move, decent putting stroke. He plays with the Callaway soccer ball, which I thought was interesting. It's too distracting for me to play like the Truva style stuff. I'll throw it in occasionally, when you just have like an extra golf ball laying around, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun. So he plays with the red and white soccer ball Callaway, and he's got really cool no laying up head covers.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
like, they must sell a lot of them, is my guess, because they have one that looks like an old Big Bertha, like it's a throwback, but it's a no laying up head cover.
I know.
And I swear this isn't an ad for no laying up. I just happened to see it. It was the first time I saw like him out playing and seeing his golf equipment, so it was cool to just take a dive into his bag. And I haven't been over to their merch store. I'm sure that they sell some of that stuff. But pretty cool head covers. I would recommend checking out the forum thread, at least, seeing the photos of what he's got going on in the bag. But there's 0% chance he listens to this podcast. But someone tell him to get a fresh putter. At least reshaft it.
Well,
at least reshaft it.
So it's an interesting putter. So like you said, it's a black shaft. It's all chipped up. Like, it's just there's more chrome than black on it nowadays.
It looked like camo for a second. That's why it initially caught my eye. It wasn't camo. Chipped.
No, it's just all chipped up. And then the head is all beat up too. And the head is an old Odyssey number 7. They called it the Versa 90. So if you remember back in 2013, they had the Versa, which was the line that went basically across the head from heel to toe. They had a big, white or black line. The head was either white or black, and then they had a contrasting line, and it was to help alignment. Well, they made a 90, which this one goes down the center of the club head. It's a white head with a big black center section to get help with alignment. I don't remember. It's a little too far back to remember exactly, but his has a micro hinge insert, which I believe came out years later, and wasn't offered in this putter. So I'm pretty sure it's a tour issue putter. That or somebody did the work. I don't think they offered that head with a micro hinge. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure that one had like an all black White Hot Pro insert in it when that first came out.
Okay.
So it's one of those. Maybe it's just a special guy that got built for him, and that insert is crazy soft. So the combination of that insert and that ball, I mean, I don't know what he feels at impact, but he's a scratch player.
Not much.
So no, I mean he's basically a scratch player. So I mean he's doing something right with it. But yeah, that bad boy is old, and it's seen some battles, that's for sure. Yeah,
definitely no hate. Pretty cool if it is like a tour custom, maybe fresh off the tour truck, something he got like super custom fitted back in 14 or 15. Definitely don't blame him at all for continuing to play a tour type custom product. It's just visually.
Like I said, it's been through some stuff, that is for sure.
So I guess this is just like the putter episode right now, but
yeah,
the putters were hot this week. Justin Thomas. So looking back a couple months, he basically broke the internet when he first started playing the putter that he ended up winning the PGA Championship with, because had the knuckle neck on it.
Yep.
Super extended little plumber's neck on the T5, the Phantom T5. Some custom engravings on the face, really light milling, pretty smooth putter. He obviously wins the PGA Championship with it. I didn't think he was in the market. I didn't think he was going to make a switch anytime soon because the putter he played previously, what was it, the X5?
Yeah.
He used it to win 13 of his 14 PGA Tour victories at the time. He's a guy that, he'll do testing and tinkering, but, once he finds his putter, he pretty much sticks with it unless something weird's going on with his stroke or something like that. Well, he's making a switch this week. He's switching that 1-of-1 out for another 1-of-1. So I talked to Drew Page and I talked to JT himself about what's going on with the putter. Why the switch, what's different about it, what's going on. Because I looked at the head. It's got his JT logo on the back.
Yeah. It's
got the tour only thumbs up and his initial on the outer toe. Super cool face with the 3 cherry bombs going around the one. I guess they kept it raw, the silver bomb on the face. Light milling again. He likes the light milling. A little different feel with that. And then he's got the black aluminum plate in the back cavity and cherry bombs on the back bumper. Just such a cool putter. It's such a cool custom Scotty Cameron putter. He's still got the knuckle, the knuckle hosel on there. But it's also okay, the putter head's cool, but something has to be different about it. So I wanted to get the backstory. Turns out about, what would it be now? 6-8 months ago, whatever February is. They were at the Genesis with Drew Page, Mike Thomas, Justin Thomas's dad. Justin obviously there, and his putting coach was out there, and they were testing all sorts of different lengths. So he tested basically 35 inches down to 33 inches, figuring out what he was going to be comfortable with. He ended up not changing length at the time. He's been 34.5 inches pretty much his whole career, is what Drew was saying. Never really deviated from 34.5. But he said he's been playing golf recently with Patrick Cantlay. And I guess he noted how comfortable he looked at address, the way his arms hung. And JT himself was not feeling as comfortable at address. I think he was feeling a little bit jammed up, and it was kind of affecting, his shoulders. If you're raising your shoulders up a little bit too high, you tense up and your alignment gets off. He was saying his tilt was getting a little bit messed up. So he wanted to revisit 34 inches after not switching at the Genesis. And I guess this was a couple weeks back. He wanted to start testing something shorter again, 34 inches. And it shipped on Tuesday of the BMW Championship. They basically went out on the green, the putting green, and delivered it to him fresh out of the box. And I guess it's a little too corny to say love at first sight, but he went out in his practice round and he played only that putter. And then the Wednesday Pro-Am, he played only that putter. And when I talked to him, he was like, "Yeah, I'm making the switch." Very confidently. It wasn't "Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's hard to make switches." The typical line that they'll say when they're not quite sure. He was positive. He wanted to play this putter this week. He likes the length. He feels way more comfortable at 34 inches. So aside from just the putter, kind of blowing up our Instagram page and being a super cool custom, I think there's an interesting little fitting story there. One that I identify with, actually, because I had played 35 inches my whole life. I moved to 35.5. I feel so much better. It's actually eased the tension off my back. My arms feel more comfortable. My stroke feels freer. I think length is a little bit underrated when it comes to the putter. I think it's way more impactful alignment-wise and just the way your stroke releases. Your overall comfort level, how long you can practice. Tiger, when was that? That was maybe a couple years back. He went up to 35.5 inches as well, based on something that Steve Stricker had said. Just kind of about protecting the body. You're going longer practice sessions, ease that tension off the back. But people kind of overlook that. You know,
Yeah.
they'll just go to the retail store and it's like, oh, I want this putter because, you know, there's a million different reasons for people to buy putters. But length is probably the last thing that goes noticed. I feel like people concentrate on whether it's an insert or it's milled on the face or mallet, what color, alignment lines, which are all hugely important. But, you know, your connection to the golf club is the grip. And
Yeah.
where you grip it and how you stand is hugely dependent on length.
No, I agree. And I think part of it is, you know, at least when I was working at a shop, you know, again, this is more early 2000s, a men's putter, in a sense, was 35 inches. And when people came in, they said, hey, I'm a man, I'm buying a putter at 35 inches where it's at, and they would just buy that. Like, that was just what it was. And like a 33-inch putter was considered like a women's putter. Like, that wasn't considered like a man's putter or like a junior putter or whatever. So I remember, you know, the first time I think I had a couple 35 inches. I'm a short guy. I'm like 5'9". The first time I put a 33-inch putter in my hand, I was like, this is great. Like, this is amazing. Like you said, I mean, your arms kind of hang down. They're not, you know, up in this weird little contorted, you know, way. And yeah, I think a lot of people do overlook, you know, the length of a putter, and they just go in and buy whatever's on the shelf, which a lot of times is 35 inches. And, you know, you don't have to be necessarily a shorter person, but like you said, you know, going to get fit and checking out the lengths, and or even just if you walk into a shop, try a couple 33s, 34s, and just see kind of if you're comfortable with it and how you putt. But you're right. And then, yeah, this putter is pretty amazing. The only thing that's interesting, though, is that the grip is pretty worn already. Like, he's already put some putts on this bad boy.
I knew I forgot to ask him something. I did want to ask about that grip. Like, how is that grip so worn already?
Yeah, it's beat up for being a pretty new putter. But
that was weird,
cool
yeah. Maybe it was an
cool
old
thing-
grip he had and he wanted to put it on there. I don't know.
Yeah,
Should've
maybe
asked
something he felt comfortable with, and they just tossed it in there or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the other cool thing is, so the knuckle on there is typically a piece of like shaft. You know, it's just a steel. They kind of bead blasted this one. It's got like a real matte, dark gray finish now instead of the shiny chrome that I think.
Yeah, I think they
this
said
old
they
one had.
did some brushed steel, actually.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely. I like the look a lot better. I like it with the brush. It's pretty
It
sweet.
softens up that look because, you know, if the head material is so much different than the steel shaft that they use for the knuckle and you get some glare, like normally you don't see that knuckle, you know, if you're setting up the right way. But if it catches your eye a little weird, I'd rather be looking at something matte or brushed or bead blasted instead of like the chromed out, something that's going to glare in the sun. I mean, I prefer copper, bronze, or super rusted raw putter myself.
Same here.
I don't want to be
I'm with
getting
you.
glared at, but
Yeah, sweet putter though. I really like. I mean, that's one of those. Again, I don't lust after Circle T putters. It's not like a thing that I've ever had that passion to collect or whatever. But I would say if I had the opportunity to roll that putter or Brooks Koepka's, either one of those I would definitely roll or game without thinking about it for sure.
yeah, you change out the JT, you make it an AT for Andrew
Perfect.
Tursky. My initials, I'm throwing that thing in play. Again,
yeah.
not a mallet guy, but these custom putters they had going on the
Fire.
last couple of weeks just got me all jacked up.
Dude, straight fire.
Okay, so let's move up in the bag a little bit. When is the last time that Ping made a raw wedge? Do you know the answer?
Couldn't even tell you.
Okay.
Never.
I don't know the exact answer. I was just talking to the guys in the truck a little bit. They were basically saying it's been 10 years. 8 to 10 years, somewhere in that
Wow.
range. It's been a while. And I guess Ping guys have kind of been asking for raw. Tour guys like raw heads. We like raw heads.
Yeah.
There's not necessarily huge performance benefits. Maybe get a little bit of extra friction, slightly sharper grooves, but tour guys want raw. You know? People love raw wedges. And then you start getting them rusted out, and they just got a really cool look. So they've been asking, I would guess for years, they've been asking Ping for raw wedges. They came out this week. They didn't launch. I mean, it's just they brought them out to tour. They made it an option out there. They got a whole slew of different grinds, loft options. So whatever guys want to play, whatever grind they want, they are manufacturing raw heads for them. And Joaquin Neiman and Taylor Moore. a set of wedges right in play the first week they drop. So that kind of goes to show how excited they all are, and I'm sure it's going to be a flurry of guys testing and throwing those in ASAP. But I got in-hand photos of Neiman and Taylor Moore, and then it was just heads only. They weren't shafted up, so sometimes it's hard to get the best pictures ever. But I took all the heads that they had available on the truck. I took some in-hand photos of those. What do you think about the look of them?
I really like them. They look like a Glide Forge Pro. I mean, let's be honest. They look like that, but and they don't have one yet that's like really rusty. But I like kind of the, it's kind of it's not as heavy of it's a brushed finish. It's not like a bead blasted finish like the standard plated ones are. But I think it's a great option. I think, like you said, guys on tour really want it. From what we've heard from a couple manufacturers, I think the wet weather performance is enhanced a little bit. The way the water kind of moves off, I think the raw face, so it adds a little bit of help there. But yeah, gobs of rust doesn't make it spin crazy. But I think they look. I think they look really good. I mean, a bunch of different grinds. It'd be interesting to ask them, did they have to make like a different forging for these? Because usually when you chrome something, you add a couple grams of weight, whether it's 3 to 7 or whatever grams of weight for that plating. Did they make these heads like a touch heavier to compensate from that, or are they the same heads that are just stripped and they'll just add a little tip weight or add a little tungsten powder or something like that to get them up to the spec that these guys want?
Smart question.
But
Smart
overall,
question to ask.
Yeah, overall good looking putters, and I think they offer a bunch of options. Yeah, I think they offer a bunch of options, so it'll be interesting to see how many go and play.
Did you know that you just said putters there? We were talking about wedges.
No, my bad. I heard you say wedges, and I was like, yeah, I know. I'm talking about wedges.
I didn't want to blow up your spot. I just thought it was funny.
Sorry.
Okay, so just a couple points of note. We don't really have to get too deep into this. Rory changed his 3-wood shaft, and he also changed up just the bounce on his 58-degree wedge a little bit. He went to a standard bounce, and he bent it a degree to increase bounce by a degree.
Yep.
I don't know if it's exactly a 1-to-1 ratio.
It is.
It is 1-to-1? Okay.
Yep.
So I believe that's exactly what he did. Just a little more bounce and sole.
Yeah, so on our social, we posted, I think yesterday, a little video of him and Chris Trotty, talking about Chris Trott. I know we always call him Trotty. But they did a little video talking about his 58, his lob wedge. And, Rory said he bends it 1 degree weak for the bounce, because he likes a little added bounce to there, depending on the condition. And then also it does, so it's 1-to-1. So if you have a 10-degree bounce head, you bend it 1 degree weak, you'll have an 11-degree bounce head. Like that's how it works. But then it also removes a little offset when you bend stuff weak. And Rory was saying he likes bending things just a touch weak because it changes the way the hosel transitions into the leading edge, and he likes that look a little better too.
I'm with him.
So he said it's me too. I'm the same way.
It looks good.
He always likes to take a higher loft and bend it back a little bit for those two reasons.
And then Spieth changed into a TSR 3-wood.
Yeah,
he hasn't changed 3-woods in a couple iterations now. He's been back and forth with the TSR 3 driver. He put it in play the first week at Travelers, but I think he switched midweek back into the TSI 3, and he's kind of been bouncing back and forth between those. I know he's been doing a bunch of testing, but he definitely changed into the 3-wood. I guess we'll see if he stays in it, but he seemed pretty happy with it. So yeah. TSR just continues to run, man.
Yeah,
they have 5 wins already with the TSR driver.
Yeah, 4 or 5. It's something crazy. And then, like you said when they first came out, because you were there on the truck, and you said the fairways were getting almost more love than the drivers.
So much love,
at launch. So, and then he switched up. I think he was playing was he playing a Ventus Blue in his 3-wood previously, and now he moved to the Mitsubishi Tensei AV Blue 75 TX. So,
and I think they were just saying it was like a couple hundred RPM spin difference, and that was why he made the shaft change. But yeah, people are loving the fairway woods, and we hit them. I don't know how much you want to say here, but I guess scale of 1 to 10 it. Like your experience with the TSR driver and the fairway woods.
Oh, I mean, the experience was awesome. I mean, that's like a 10. I mean, to be at TPI, Oceanside, and, hit balls there and all that. But, yeah, I mean, again, it's the same thing. It's like, how much can we really say? But let's just say the stuff's really good. I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't know how far I can go. But, it was a good day, and it was pretty fun.
I will say that I was impressed with their new fairway wood offering. Quite similar to something that's in my bag that is popular for people that, whoever actually listens to this podcast, people know what I'm probably talking about. They have a new model. I was impressed with it. It did go a little farther than my old trusty. But ultimately, that's not actually the fairway wood I chose because their 3-woods are no joke. They fly high. They feel soft. Workable. I'm trying not to say too much here.
No, I'm the same way. Like, I know some stuff's been floating around, like especially like yesterday and stuff. I saw a couple things on IG of people posting more than I thought they were allowed to. But I don't want to get us in trouble with it. So it'll probably be a couple weeks where we go dive headfirst into everything. But it was a fun experience. It was fun. We had a good time. So I was and the products are really good. So we'll
the driver as well as the 3-wood. I will say I was impressed with whatever I showed up there with. I won't say what I showed up there with driver wise, but I don't think that will be in the bag any longer. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, the driver.
It just lost. My previous driver gamer lost. It's always tough in those circumstances as well. Because it is a fitting, they're trying to help you like with your flaws, whether it's a shaft change. For me, it was also length and grip size. Like I went bigger on the grip. My tendency is to flip. I get a little too wristy. I release too hard. Going to a mid-sized grip. I don't know why I haven't done this before. I think I've talked about it on this podcast. Trying Jumbo Max irons or grips out.
Grips.
Yeah, grips, not irons. After I gave you shit for saying putter instead of wedge, I make the same mistake. But either way, you know what I'm talking about, though. In the fitting realm, you are working to improve ball flight and get something that perfectly matches. And if the gamer's not perfectly matched, is it a fair fight? I don't know. But either way, the previous one lost and probably to the curb when that one shows up. But we are very excited for like the actual release, be able to talk about the tech, new stuff going on. I'm just going to stop there because I feel like I'm going to say too much.
Too much.
Yeah. So if you wanted some Korn Ferry Tour What's in the Bag photos, Greg Moore has you dialed in. He took 27 What's in the Bag galleries this week.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was looking at the list, and it just like keeps going.
Greg was out there grinding in Boise, Idaho.
Yeah.
The custom Scotty Cameron putters were probably the standout to me.
They're pretty sweet.
The Potato Head. Idaho is Potatoville. No offense, I've never been there. I don't know how relevant potatoes really are up there, but I hear good things. Let's just put it that way. I bet the French fries and mashed potatoes ain't too bad in Idaho. But the What's in the Bags were on fire, Greg. He definitely killed it in Boise. I was at the BMW Championship. Probably could have used him out there. There was a lot of stuff going on, but it's cool to split the tours up and just give people as much gear coverage as possible. I know that's what they love. That's what I want to provide. That's what we talk about on this show.
Love it.
Two guys talking golf. This week, Knudsen was holding it down in America. I got Europe.
We're intercontinental, baby. Is that what it is? Intercontinental? Oh, something like that. Whatever.
I'll leave the geography to you.
Oh, God, no.
But I'll still be out in Europe next week. I will not be at the Tour Championship, but Greg, I'm assuming with 30 guys there, he will shoot 30 What's in the Bag. So if you want to see any club that's out there, Tune in next week to the Golf WRX forums. I'm sure he'll be cranking out what's in the bag photos. And that's all I got this week. I got stuff to do in Greece, so I'm going to go tend to my matters.
All right. Well, hey.
But it was a pleasure talking some gear, wrapping up the last 2 weeks. Again, apologize to everyone for not having a podcast out next week. Won't let it happen again.
All right. Well, hey, enjoy Greece. Go relax. I know you've been traveling, so go maybe find yourself a little lemonade and sit by the pool. Maybe take a little nap in the shade or something, you know?
Get the beach towel out, pour up a lemonade on the rocks.
That's right, baby.
Get some relaxation in. Knudsen, it's always a pleasure, man.
You too, sir. Enjoy a little vacation. You deserve it. And, when you do eventually travel home, travel safe.
Play well in your league tonight.
Thanks, sir.
Confident shots, conservative targets. This
I'm gonna
was
try.
Two Guys Talking Golf.
Still go, 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 go.